spice is traditionally used to make Indian tea, which is also quite confusingly known as masala chai. You can have spicier blends which use black pepper, clove, and you can have sweeter blends like this one we're making today, which uses cinnamon and cardamom. We're going to start by taking about 4 grams of cinnamon and adding it to a mortar. We're going to use the narrow end of a pestle just to break it down slightly. Okay, now that that's broken down a little bit, I'm just going to add in some cardamom seeds. This is about 9 green cardamom pods that have been shelled, and I'm just going to add the seeds straight in. And again, just try and break them down all together. Just going to turn that over, so we use the wider end of the pestle just to really get everything crushed together. You can of course use a coffee grinder to do this and it will turn out just as good, but I prefer this way, the traditional way. You just get more satisfaction out of it and makes that cup of tea all the more worthwhile. Next I'm going to add in about 6 cloves just for that hint of spiciness, and again continue to pound. You can see it's starting to get a lot finer, and just about a minute or 2 more and it should be a powder. The smell that you get from the spices as they break down is so pungent, sweet and spicy. Just want to eat it there and then. Okay, now this is beginning to look quite a lot finer than it was before. I'm going to add in the ginger. This is about a teaspoon of dried ginger. The ginger's just been dried in the oven under a low heat for a few hours until it's completely dry and pounded down in much the same way as we're doing here. And stir it in, and then just continue to break everything together until it's all a fine powder. Okay, there we go. You can see that the spices have broken down. It's not completely fine, it's a little bit coarse, but that's absolutely fine. I'm just gonna pour it into here. There you go, you've got about probably more than that, about 3 teaspoons of masala there, which is enough to last you for a good few cups of tea, and you can even add that to baking. It smells amazing in cupcakes. We're now going to use this chai masala to make a cup of traditional Indian tea, masala chai. Over here I've got about 150 millilitres of water, just over a gentle heat. To that I'm going to add 50 millilitres of milk. About 3/4 of a teaspoon of loose black tea leaves and about 2 teaspoons of brown sugar. You can add as much or as little sugar as you want. I'm just going to leave that to come to a boil over a medium heat. Okay, this is beginning to come to a rolling boil. Want to wait for it to bubble up. You can see the colour starting to change a little bit. Okay, as it comes to a boil, give it a stir and reduce the heat. Keep giving it the occasional stir. The darker the colour of the tea, the stronger it is, so we like it a little bit stronger. We're going to wait for it to get to about an amberish kind of colour. As it's simmering, just before it reaches the right depth of strength that you'd like it, add just under a teaspoon of your chai masala. It's best not to overheat the spices, as otherwise they can get a little bit too bitter for the tea, so add them in right at the end. Just stir them in. Okay, our tea's got to the right strength that we'd like it at, so we're turning off the heat, and use a tea towel to protect your hands. Just going to pour it through a strainer carefully into a teacup. It smells amazing. And there you have your perfect cup of masala tea, Devnaa style.